Hello everyone, and welcome to what I think is episode 17 of Final Fantasy IX. Now, you might notice that we are in a different spot than we left off on at the end of the last episode. And that's because I actually recorded this episode, but I messed up the recording. So I've already been through the Black Mage Village. I haven't finished it, but I was well into the Black Mage Village when I left off, and I realized that my video had recorded wrong. So I decided I would start this video right here, which is right before the forest where you meet the Black Mages. But it took me like 25 minutes to actually get here, because if you see on the mini-map, this continent has a lot of room to the east of where we are. So I decided to try and see if we could get there, but we couldn't because there's a mountain in the way. So I went over there, found out we were blocked, went back to the Scottish village, got some new items, looked for an inn, couldn't find an inn, and then made our way here. We had a ton of random encounters, so that took 25 minutes to get that far. So anyway, now we're going to head into the forest. And I am just going to go through this stuff again. It is not that big of a deal. I think they live so deep in the forest that owls don't even live there. Alright, so I figured out what we need to do in here pretty easily. We just have to go where there are no owls, and if the owls are flying away, we've gone the right direction. And if the owls are coming back, we're going the wrong direction. And then we need to turn around. So it wasn't too hard to get it. There are some spots where it's not very intuitive which way I'm supposed to actually go. So I might end up going the wrong way a couple times this time as well. Anyway, we're just going to attack this. I did eat the owl and the mushrooms when we were going through here the first time. And they both said don't taste good, so I'm not going to bother eating either of them this time. We're going to try and balance our mana pool so that we can not have to use any ethers on the or on Garnet. We did get a couple successful uses of Matra magic off from Kina. So I don't know if that's just a low accuracy spell or what. This thing is going to heal itself. And having to use 2 steals kind of stinks, because Zidane is our heaviest hitter. Got an ore. Don't know what status that is. Like, it looks like we just got a status on them, and Vivi's add status. I guess I should look at Vivi's weapons and see if there's a status being added. I have to check abilities too, because I did change abilities a little bit as we take down the owl. Level up on Kina, very good. So let's check our abilities. I want to make sure I have Bird Killer on Zidane, and we do. I don't think we need anything else. Steel Gill would be really useful. So let's take off Protect Pearls and put in Steel Gill. We might want MP attack as well, but it's not a big deal. Zidane doesn't have damage. He does, he not. Then let's look at Vivi. So I want to look at his equipment, actually, because I want to see if this weapon is adding a status. Yeah, it adds slow, which is really useful, because we have add status and something that adds slow. Okay, I think that's all we need to do here. Let's see where the birds are. This way. Okay, so it looks like we want to go this way again. Perfect. Now when we're coming from these directions, this is when it gets a lot less intuitive. So let's see if it's this way. Okay, these guys are weak to fire, because I did scan them. So this is where we're going to use BB a little bit more. Use his fire that they are weak to. We still have 10, super useful. That almost kills it. None of these enemies are too frightening. I mean, they do damage, but they don't do damage at like a super high rate. Well, that one's still alive. That survived for quite a long time, and we couldn't get a steal there. It feels bad. I think these things have like 1300 out. That did more damage, or Kira. And here's where it drops darkness on us. So I think Zidane is the only one who has the ability to protect against darkness right now. Which kind of just stinks. I don't really want to use... I mean... Let's just go ahead and use Aqua Breath. I don't care. Full of 10. Wonderful. It missed. So does darkness affect magic as well? Let's see if BB misses. And then we'll use a eye drop on Kina, because Kina does the second most damage with autos. Okay, that did hit. It didn't do enough damage though, even though it's weak to that. We have a lot of eye drops, so darkness is not a concern. That was a crit. Amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and put our eye drops on. That was the wrong way, so now I'm going to go back this way and that owl comes back off. And then I'm going to go left instead. Okay. Now these things remind me a lot of Furbies. I ate a Furby when I was a kid. I got one from the McDonald's menu. Ow, that did a lot of damage. Let's cure Zidane. Oh, we need to cure Dagger too. I wasn't paying attention to her health, so I was thinking about darkness and such. Oh, I already stole, didn't I? I got a nice heal there. A bit inefficient because we have to... Oh, wait, did we not steal? Or can we steal two things? I wasn't paying enough attention. My brain does not multitask very well. But in any case, a high potion is nice to get. Anyway, I just basic attack these things down because I saved BB's mana for the mushrooms. Oop. And Zidane is Bird Killer. It just does take longer because we're always stealing, instead of getting Zidane's hit off. Because Zidane can two-shot these. But other than Zidane, we have 3 mages in our party. Let's drop some cures. And then I'm gonna try going left here as well. And that was wrong. Okay. So here I need to go left. And then here I need to go right. Another Furby. I think it is more efficient MP-wise to use Cures and everyone instead of using Rama. Let's keep track of how much damage this thing does to us. So it does 128. Now it's attacking again. But it's healing itself. So it's back to full HP. We missed. As long as it's not Zidane. Oh, Zidane didn't get his steal. Feels bad. This is not a good start for this particular battle. Then like 240 damage, 250. Is it getting double attacks off all the time? Okay, it's done like 750. Like 850. Total high potion. It was gonna end up doing like 1,000 damage to us overall. 1,100. Okay, please don't hit dagger, thank you. Okay, so it is doing like 3 cures worth of damage across the party. And it does take a lot longer in terms of time, but 3 cures worth of damage is less mana than using Rama one. So let's go ahead and drop the cures. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that was less than Rama. And one of these owls is gone, which means the Black Mage will show up. It's another one of these Furby creatures. But with the high potion that we're stealing is really useful too. Heal itself instantly, so it's back to full. Full high potion, excellent. Ooh, it dodged. As long as it doesn't dodge the Bane. When it dodges Zidane, that is a big problem. It's still alive after Zidane's attack. But that's because Tina missed, I suppose. And it didn't get an extra move off, so we're good. Level up for BB. Let's go ahead and look at our cures. We don't need to cure anyone. after that. And here we are. It's giving me shades of Esthar from Final Fantasy VIII. Ah! Humans! What's wrong? We're humans! Run! What? Wait! Did you see them? Yeah. They were talking. There are others like me. Why would anyone build a village in the middle of a dying forest? Beats me. Where's Phoebe? He went that way, but Hey! A village. Village always have good food. I go find. Jeez, you people. Life on the run. The humans are here. Phoebe! What's going on? Different language. Is he the one who came here with that group of humans? He's alright. Look into his eyes. He's aware, just like us. Thanks. What are you all doing here? We escaped together from Alexandria and the cargo ships. This far? That's right. We wanted to live in a world where there were no humans. To find that, we had to cross the ocean. I see. So, what's this? This is, what's the word? It's a cemetery. Right, a cemetery. A cemetery? So, underneath the ground... Yes, our friends are buried under here. But why? That's because I came here with the Mr. 36. We escaped here together. We had so many things to learn. It was really scary at first, but we helped each other. Then one day, Mr. 36 stopped moving. He just stopped, wouldn't move or say anything. My friend who knows lots of things told me that this is what death was, and we had to bury him. Mr. 36 is buried under the ground now, but I don't understand why. He's gonna come out again one day, right? And when he does, I'm gonna wash him off in the pond. Well, what's he talking about? Was it a disease? Or was he hurt? Tell me. Why? And then it's about to say that's because, but it doesn't let us hear the rest of it. Another active time event. Visitor, not invader. Excuse me? Why are you here? This is our village. Yeah. You forced the little guy to guide you here, didn't you? That's all you humans ever think about, using us. You mean about Phoebe? That's not true. It's just that I was surprised to see black mages other than Phoebe who could talk, so... Besides, I'm here to stop the person who's sending you off to fight. Are you telling the truth? Lies. All humans are liars. You're lying. But it's true. I can't just sit here and watch while horrible things are happening. Alright, this is very interesting. This guy's not afraid, he's gonna sell us stuff. Let's get 2 high potions. And we'll get a remedy too. But this is pretty interesting. So they were automatons, but they have somehow broken out of the spell or whatever. Because the other ones are just automatons. They don't seem to have any problem killing people. But these are aware. But this is an inn, but we're not ready to check you in. Okay, what does this guy have to say? Oh, I don't think he has anything to say. Anyway, let's pillage the town over here. We got a Virgo, which is a key item. I don't know what it is. Let's see if it will say. It's a Stelazio. I don't know what Stelazio are for, but I suppose it's a good thing that we got one. Whoops. So I did this the first time too. I kept trying to like go a different direction here, and it just kept making me go in that building. So that's a dead end. This is where Dagger is, I think. Yep. Oh, the Dane. What's up, Dagger? I was telling him why we're here. Why are we here? Zidane. It's just a joke. Jeez, don't get mad. Can't you see I'm trying to make them understand? What's a joke? Is it scary? It's something funny, right, Dagger? You don't seem so bad. Because you're here to fight the bad guys. That's right. You're unbelievable. You know that? Hey, where's Vivi? I don't know where he went. That worries me. I'm gonna go look for him. Hey, Dagger. Not again. Received 2,000 gil. Anyway, poor Dagger, she's trying to get them to understand, then Zidane just becomes trustworthy apparently instantly. Poor man's nose. Why you run away? I not do anything. What you hiding? Ooh. His aroma. His delicious aroma. Alright, let's climb up here because we can get some goodies from the roof. So over here there's something. It's hard to like get. We have to there we go. Ah, I see the chest now. I didn't even see the chest before. That's all I think we can do up here. Got some money. But don't worry, we're going to put that money right back into the economy of this village. Oh, it's Vivi. Hey, Vivi. What's up with him? Life cycle. Aha! I know you hide food. Get out. This egg is ours. It's Chocobo egg. Chocobo egg super delicious. We share and eat it. We're not gonna eat it. A Chocobo mother left it for us before she stopped moving. That's right, we're gonna raise it for her. You crazy. You never raised any animal before. Shut up, we can so do it. I not believe you. You eat egg behind my back. No way. Tina's not very diplomatic. I wonder what it's like down there. Is it warm or cold? Hey, how come you guys can all talk? We became aware one day, each under different circumstances. Became aware? How? Do you remember being born? No, not really. It was the same with me. I just woke up one day. There was a human body lying next to me. Its body was covered in blood. It scared me. I didn't know what it meant. I ran as fast as I could. When I looked around, I was far away from the front line. There were many others like me, and we decided to escape together. We heard about this village after roaming around for a while. That's how I ended up here. Let's see. So this guy apparently became aware right after killing someone. But I guess they become aware at different times. It's random when they become aware. I wonder how many of them, like as a percentage, become aware. Like, will all of them become aware eventually? Or is there just like some sort of defect that caused these to become aware? Oh dear. So I wonder, like, if they all have the potential to become aware from the beginning, but then the process by which they are made scrubs them of that ability, and it's supposed to completely scrub them. And if that scrubbing doesn't work, then they eventually become aware at some point. That's my guess right now. Just a theory. And we've already been in here, I think, right? Is this the... Yeah, this is where we've already been. Oh wait, I need to talk to these guys again. Some of these guys were synthesizing. Is it these guys? Yes, synthesizing. So we can get the rune tooth. It's gonna be useful right away. We already have a desert boots. We can get a glass buckle. We can get a German spoon. We already have one of these. We already have one of these. A gold choker, we already have one. We have one of those. Oh, it's a really good thing that I went back to the village and got those extra forks. Because that's why we're able to get these two synthesis items. We already have a power belt. So I think one of our characters has a bone wrist. If one of us has a bone wrist, then we need to unequip it and come back here. But we'll get some fairy earrings as well. And then I wonder if we have a Multina racket. Anyway, once we get the party together, we'll have to come back here. Do we see an angler up here? Because we see a Medane's room that we can use. Anyway, synthesizing is pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and equip Zidane, because we've already equipped him with everything from the Ogre. Now we can pop in the Rune Tooth and have him learn Lucky 7, which is an ability. What does it do? It deals physical damage by luck. So can we see his stats this way? What's his luck? Or is it just random? Because there isn't a luck stat that I'm seeing anyway. Unless it's a hidden stat? I don't know. That was productive. Got some goodies. Alright, let's run in here. Zidane, you want to eat too? Chocobo egg, very delicious. We're never gonna give it to you. I don't think we can... We're gonna go in there and see if I can get past him and talk to these guys. We can. Okay, I'm gonna say, are they with you? Are they with you? Can you take them somewhere else? And here we can get some Chocobo stuff. I don't think we can talk to that guy. But anyway, this is where we left off last time. I am gonna go ahead and save here again. And we're gonna see how much faster we got here compared to last time. So last time the save was at 1912. And this time it's 1906. So I personally managed to cut off 6 minutes this time around. But you guys got to skip like 31 minutes of just random encounter fighting. That's all it was. Anyway, so now I have to figure out where we're gonna find everyone. We already found Kina, but where's Phoebe and Dagger? They're not gonna check us in yet. Here's Phoebe. So this is all new now to me. Vivi? What's wrong? Huh? Oh, Zidane. It's nothing. Did something bad happen? All the black mages seem pretty nice. Nothing happened. Grr, I'm hungry. This village people eat terrible food. Oh, Vivi, you're back. Where were you? You look very... You got tired, right, Vivi? Yeah. I don't blame you. We've been walking around non-stop. We should call it a day. I go to forest and look for food. What about you, Zidane? Yeah, we'll call it a day. Okay, so here's one thing I forgot to mention. So I'm just going to hold the next text box, because if these other black mages, they seem to just be dying for like no reason. Like the ones that died, I don't know if I missed this text box this time around, but it was implied that the ones that died didn't get hurt. And they didn't get sick, they just died. So I wonder if these things have a very short lifespan. In which case, I wonder if Vivi also has a very short lifespan. Which would not be good news. Anyway, Vivi has just left the hotel in the dead of night. And Dagger noticed. Zidane, Vivi just walked out. Maybe he's letting us have a little romantic quiet time. I'm serious. I wouldn't worry too much. But... he's trying to figure something out for himself. Think about it. Vivi's never met black mages like himself before. But what if they're being mean to him, or saying nasty things? Do you really think the people of this village gathered to do something like that? Maybe, just maybe, he'll find what he's looking for. Find what? A place to call home. Home? Yeah, a place where he belongs. Hey, Zidane, when you said home, what's the matter? Can't fall asleep? How about a bedtime story? Let's see. Once upon a time. There you go again, teasing me. Once upon a time, there was a man. It was a man who didn't know where he came from. Zidane? This man had longed to find his birthplace ever since he was a small child. Was Zidane telling us his own backstory here? His birthplace, a place he only remembered in his dreams. Why? He wanted to know more about himself, maybe. About his parents, the house where he was born. One day, the man left the home of his adopted father and went on a quest to find the answer. His only clue was the blue light he saw in his dream. A blue light? Yeah, he thought it might be a memory of his birthplace. An ocean, maybe? Did he find it? Hey, you're jumping ahead. A lot of things happened along the way. Alright, we can skip ahead. No, he never found it. How could he? His only clue was a colored light. So he went back to the home of his adopted father. What do you think his father did when he came home? Welcomed him home? No way. The father raised his fist and beat the son he had worked so hard to raise. Why? Oh. But you know what surprised him even more? The father smiled after beating up his son. Can you believe that? He just gave his son a beating. But this is what the man thought when he saw his father smile. This is my home. This is the place I call home. The man is still looking for his birthplace, but he already has it. Maybe. Maybe it's the same for Vivi. He's looking for a place to call home. I wonder if Vivi will stay in this village. Who knows? That's for him to decide. Hello, nice to see you again. I wanted to ask you something. What is it? I was wondering how many people have stopped moving. You're very kind to use our words, but you already know what it means to live and to die. You're asking about our friends who have died, not stopped. 7 of our friends stopped functioning recently. I think our lifespan is limited. I've suspected this ever since the first one came to a stop. It varies a little, but most of us stop moving 1 year after production. Okay, so I was right. Gosh, that sucks. No. I haven't told anyone else about this. If I did, they'd feel the same way I do. What do you feel? I don't know. Fear? I don't want to stop. And maybe I want to run away from it all. But living in the village with everyone fills me with joy. The joy of living with them far outweighs the fear of death. Man, this is really sad. Honestly, I think this is really sad. It's like, these people, like, they haven't lived for very long, but they're fully aware. And I don't know what it's like to grow old, because I'm not old, obviously. But I've heard that people are, like, more afraid of death when they're younger than they are when they're old, which I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if it's going to be true, like, for how many people it's true, or if it'll be true for me or anything. But it's a nice kind of thought that as you get closer to death, it doesn't bother you as much. Like, that's a nice thing to believe. But for these guys, like, they might not really understand because they haven't really been educated. They're way smarter than, like, a 1-year-old human is, but they're still, like, super young, and they haven't ever really been taught, or they haven't been taught much anyway. And I don't know why this guy seems to be so much smarter than some of the others. Maybe they just develop their intelligence really fast because they have shorter lifespans. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but for these black mages, it seems a little bit less like going through the natural aging cycle and a bit more than getting like a terminal cancer diagnosis. Because you're not really ready to die. Like most of these black mages, they have no idea that they're probably going to die in less than a year, because this guy who's figured it out, who I'm guessing is probably close to a year old, he seems very wise. Like, he's like the only one who really knows. But for him, he basically has like a terminal diagnosis. And I'm guessing that he feels in like perfect health. So I'm guessing that that's like, it's gotta be just super scary. And it's gotta be super scary for Vivi too, who Vivi, he's still different because he's small. Like, we haven't seen any small ones. Vivi, like, they could be just making him small to make him stand out, but he also stands out because of his color clothing, so they could make a small one and give it just the purple robes like these other ones have, and Vivi would still stand out. So he could be different, and he could have a longer lifespan, but this makes it seem like Vivi is going to die within a year, most likely as well. And Vivi, I don't think he's ready to hear that right now. Like, this isn't what he wants to hear. So I think this part is really sad. Isn't it the same with you? Traveling with your friends gives your life meaning. But those last words are pretty impactful too. Like, traveling with your friends gives your life meaning. So I think that'll influence Vivi to stay with his friends and not stay here in the village. Really? Yeah, I think that's what you're looking for. Thank you. What's up, Dagger? Zidane, someone saw a silver dragon in the northwest part of this continent. The people of Kondapeti said there was a place called Sanctuary, where entrance is restricted. I think this Kuja said something about a secret being hidden on this continent. You heard him say that? Yeah, something about the source of the mist. Maybe we can find out more if we go there. And maybe save my mother. Right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to save Dagger's mother. I don't think we're going to get a happy mother-daughter reunion at the end of this. I think that the Queen is not long for this world. Oh, where's Vivi? If Vivi says he's staying behind, wait for me. Vivi? Everyone in the village asked me to see the outside world and tell them about it. I see. Oh man, I thought Dagger and I'd get to spend some quality time together. What'd you say? You no can leave me here. I'd starve. Oh yeah, I forgot about you. Let's go, everyone. To Kondapeti, and to the sanctuary that lies beyond. Alright, let's do our equipment then. So this was some, like, lore dump. We got a lot of questions answered about Vivi that we haven't known for a long time. We haven't figured out everything. You know, there's still more I want to know. Now we've got more idea of what is going on with this continent and what the enemy's objective is here. Anyway, I want to look at my abilities quick. These will look fine. I would love to get counter though. Can I take off some things to get counter? We'll take off Beast Killer and put it back on when we get out of the forest. Let's see, what else can we take off? We want to keep Bright Eyes, because there are Bright Eye things here, but we don't need to worry about Confusion, so we'll take that out. And then we'll get Counter. Oh, we should get Mug, too. Let's see if we can take something else on. So I want to look at his equipment, because his equipment, I think this has an add status. Yeah, it adds status Poison. We'll keep add status. Then we need to take off something with 2, ideally. The Bird Color will keep. Add status, Steel Guild Counter, Bright Eyes. What is Bandit? Okay, we want to keep Bandit too, so... Now we have to make choices, which is good. It's good that we have to make choices. I don't know how... I mean, Poison might be useful. Maybe we take off Counter, though. Because they don't really use physical attacks. We'll take off Counter and just buff our Steel to be really strong. And we can put on MP attack as well. And we don't really care about that, but whatever. Now let's equip Dagger. The Moltina Racket is something we can use. So if we take off the Moltina Racket, we might be able to get something good. Fairy Earrings, Level Up, and Body Temp. Shusha, and we can also learn Cura. Let's start getting Cura ASAP on her. Let's check her abilities too. So we can use Chemist, which is not that useful. Yeah, I looked at this last time because I was looking for Bright Eyes and more characters, but I just didn't see it. So we'll put on Chemist, because why not? We don't need Chemist at all. Then let's look at BP. Here's the Bone Wrist. We can switch this off. And the Gold Choker we can swap. for the fairy rings. So I want to check, does everyone have ad status? Because if I can equip ability, I don't see ad status. I don't know if she can get it though. Let's see. Yeah, we can't learn ad status in her. Let's see, can Kina get ad status? Kina can. But I don't know if any of Kina's weapons will add status. So I'll just synthesize it. We can get another one later. Whoops, let's equip Kina, and then let's look at Vivi and Kina's items. So this is fine. We just got that. We're still learning this. We're gonna keep that on for now. Are these better? Let's put on the glass armlet. This is almost done. This we can turn off. Okay, we can learn add status with the glass buckle. Let's do that. Now let's go to abilities. We'll start with Vivi. We have 4 more available. What does body temp do? Prevents freeze and heat. Nice. Learn abilities faster. I think we put that on now, because we're not worried about anything silencing us right here. So let's put on ability up. We must go to our ability for Kina. We can put on MP up. Add status is not useful right now. Counter would be nice. We don't need these things right now. We'll put on add status and counter. Oh, not add status, I meant MP up. MP plus 10%. Okay. Let's go and save before we leave. Are we all full? We're actually not full mana on Kina because we just got the MP 10%, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I don't mind. Let's save. We're just gonna save over our prior save. Actually, you know what? We should go synthesize and then save. Let's synthesize first. Because if I ever come back to the save, I'll totally forget that I didn't synthesize yet. And there are more people to talk to. Let's talk. We already have a shoe shop. I'll take one of these. Extension. And what can we get with the bone wrist? We don't have a Stardust Rod. Okay. So we can't get that. We don't have enough money anyway. Let's just see who can use an extension. You're learning. Whoops. But you're learning too. Yeah, you're learning Hura. So everyone's learning right now. Because you just got the fairy earrings and you're getting added status. Okay, now we can go save for real. But I want to talk to these people too. I do like to synthesize. Synthesize is cool. It's a way to use your old items. It's been gaining weight, I see. They've all been gaining personality. Mr. 288 posts individuality. I see, so they're all gaining individuality. Very cool. Go save. Let's talk to this guy. We built this shack to accommodate our baby chocobo. Pretty nice, don't you think? Has it hatched? There, nope, it has not hatched yet. Alright, Mob. Give us a save. At the end of our Black Mage village adventure. Oh wait, this guy. Did I talk to you? I think I did. Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, so that was pretty fun, Black Mage Village. But now we're heading back to Kondapeti, so we're gonna try and make it. We didn't have to go through that long bird area, so that means I'm gonna swap. Bird Killer's still good, but Beast Killer is something we want on right now. So we don't need to worry about darkness anymore, I don't think. So let's put on Beast Killer, because the warthogs are beasts. But I am glad we don't have to go through that Furby infested zone. And it's a griffin. Alright, we're not doing very much damage to this thing. It must have good defense. But Kina, on the other hand, did awesome damage. Let's hit it with thunder. Got it. Okay, we learned MP plus 10%, so let's go check on Kina. Magician Cloak, no longer needed, but it is the best option. However, I want my other magicians to have a chance to get MP plus 10% too. So we'll hop on with Cotton Robe. Now let's check if Vivi needs it. Still learning ability up. Dagger, Magician Robe, and you can't. Let's see if Vivi even can. Vivi can't either, so Kina will just keep that. Because this is better. It has our strength go down by 1, but our defense goes up by 5. I think that's absolutely worth it. Anyway, our goal for this episode will make it back to Kondapeti. And then we'll probably call it. But on the way, I'll go over what I think about Final Fantasy VII, which is my favorite Final Fantasy game. Now, I've known about Final Fantasy for a long time before I played the games, so I didn't play my first Final Fantasy until I was 18. And I knew that Final Fantasy VII seemed to be like the most popular, but I didn't want to like Final Fantasy VII the most because of that. I wanted to like have my own opinion, you know, and not follow the crowd, so I didn't want to like Final Fantasy VII the best. But I do, in fact, like Final Fantasy VII the best. Final Fantasy VII, like, the intro is super good. I really love the bombing mission. It gets you right into the story. I think that this game and Final Fantasy VI do a similarly good job of getting you right into the story with that opening mission. I really like the characters in Final Fantasy VII. The story of Final Fantasy VII has multiple points that make me feel really emotional, which I really like. Like this story, it just had its first one in Black Mage Village. That was the first part of Black Mage Village that also made me feel really emotional, which was listening to the Black Mages, you know, talk about how they have such a short lifespan and how he hasn't told the other ones yet. But Final Fantasy VII really does that in multiple points. Oh no, it's a Cactuar. Okay, skill. Leverly. Let's see if this will work. But the most emotional point in Final Fantasy VII, I think, is Red 13's backstory, but it does it in a lot of other points as well. And I think a lot of that has to do with the music of that game. Because I've watched a playthrough of the remake. I haven't played the remake, but I watched a playthrough of it. And there's a scene in the remake. Anyway, we're gonna stop our gameplay here. But there's a scene in the remake that is a really faithful adaptation of the original game. And that part of the original game actually made me feel kind of emotional. But in the remake, it's a super faithful adaptation with just better graphics, voice acting, that's really good voice acting, more detail, and yet it didn't make me feel emotional. So I went back to the original game and I did feel emotional. And I think that that's how the original game's music just rises and falls. I think that like triggers my emotions, because in the remake, it was playing like a really pretty, quiet piano piece during that scene, and it was really pretty, but it didn't like make me feel, you know? So I think the music of the original game really brings that part out. And then in terms of the characters of Final Fantasy VII, like some people don't like Cloud because he's too wooden, and I understand that, but I really like Cloud's personal journey. I really like his personal journey that he goes through, from seeing himself as the hero, then all the way down to seeing himself as a zero, both literally and figuratively, and then getting back up again. I really like that. And I also like the mechanics of Final Fantasy VII. I like materia. Materia I think is really cool, the way you level it up, and you equip it to items. Like some items have really good attack stat, but they don't have materia slots. So you have to choose, do you want the materia slots, or do you want the attack stat? And I accidentally made the final boss of Final Fantasy VII too easy, because I found out that I could perpetually live within the final dungeon without having to heal, just from stealing and loot you'd get from the monsters. So I just stayed there and stayed there and stayed there and grinded for fun to level up my materia, which I think is a pretty, you know, just saying that gives you a good indication that I enjoyed the materia system. And I also like limit breaks. Limit breaks are pretty cool. Like, this game has trance. And trance, it seems like there are more options for what you do with your trance, as opposed to limit break, where you have one or two limits. But in this game, I haven't gotten to use my trance very often. Like, usually I get my trance at the end of a random battle, and I don't get to even use it. Whereas I felt like I would use limit break a lot more in Final Fantasy VII. It's also true compared to 8 and 6, whereas in 6 they have desperation attacks. But I think I maybe saw a desperation attack like once in my entire playthrough. And in Final Fantasy VIII, I know you can cheese it where you get your limit equivalent over and over and over again, but I didn't cheese it, and I hardly ever got that. But limit you get fairly often, and they're just cool, you know? They're just cool abilities. It feels really cool to pop a Doom of the Living on someone, or a Meteor Rain, or an Omni Slash. It's just fun. I think that in terms of downsides to Final Fantasy VII, the graphics don't hold up. They do not hold up, though thankfully, once you get into the game, the graphics don't really bother me. But there are a lot of places where you can't really tell where you're supposed to go, because the 3D graphics just don't communicate that very well. And then there are things like dialogue and stuff that have not held up well either, the translations. I think you could also criticize it, saying that the characters can feel too similar. Like, I just played it very casually, so I don't really know, like, what's the difference between Cloud and Barret and Tifa in terms of how they fight, you know? Like, in terms of how they fight, you basically do the same thing. You auto-attack, you use spells, you use your limit break. Like, I don't know how you optimize those characters, you know what I mean? So they all end up seeming quite samey to me, outside of characters like Aerith or characters with very unique limits like Vincent. So I think you could criticize it for the characters playing a little bit too samey. Because sure, like Tifa's Limit Break is different than Cloud's, and it's different than Barrett's. But at the end of the day, they all just do damage, right? They all do damage, and they all can use magic, because you can all equip them with magic with materia. So they end up seeming kind of the same. So it doesn't matter too much what kind of party you put together. I mean, this is all like very casual player feedback, so I don't know how true that is. Like, I don't really know if one character is better to build out a certain way. I mean, I'm assuming Aerith is better to build out as magic. I know her basic attacks did like nothing, right? But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Final Fantasy VII, really enjoyed it. Really loved it, and that's my favorite one so far. We'll still see if Final Fantasy IX can knock it off its perch. I mean, so far it hasn't been able to do that, but we still have a long way to go, so it might do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call Mog, and we are going to save our game. And we're gonna call it an episode, so I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.